So we've looked at simple groupings, that's common words that's joined together all the time. Now we're going to look at more advanced groupings. Words that come together a lot, which we know very commonly, like as soon as possible, as much as possible, as quickly as possible, etc. So let's take that first one, as soon as possible. If we wrote it all separately, we'd have AS for as, SN for soon, with the S inside the curve of the N, another as, and then we'd have a possible, which is a PS, and then we'd have a disjoined I for ibble, which we're coming on to later, but pos would do for now. So as soon as pos. When we join all that together, we used to do this. That S becomes that S. That indicator goes, because in groupings we lose things, and then we add the PS. So it becomes this, as soon as possible. However, as T-line has developed over the years, and every time a textbook comes out, we have shorter ways of doing these things, that outline for as soon as possible has become this, as pos. And it's widely recognised as soon as possible. So both are correct, but obviously this is shorter. So if you wish to practice this for the special outline, or the advanced grouping, I should say, as soon as possible. The next one is as much as possible. So let's break it down first. So we start with as. Then I showed you much with no legs. It's lost its legs, so no H. That's why the MC is high and dry on the T line. Then another as, and then a PS for possible. So if we joined all that together, it would look like this. As much as possible. It's a good one to practice because you're practicing these S's inside curves, inside the curve of the M, inside the curve of the C, and either side to the straight stroke. You'll remember I prefer the anti-clockwise motion, but if you do it the other way, as much as possible, and you prefer to go clockwise on a straight stroke, it's still correct. But these two S's at the beginning must go inside the curve because it's quicker and faster to write. So now we've got as quickly as possible. Let's look at it separately. As, quickly, Q, C on its side it has to be, L, Y says I. It doesn't say y, it only says y in words like boy. If your lips come forward, it says y, boy, joy, enjoy. But where it says I, and your lips go back quickly, then it can turn from a Y into an I. So quickly, as possible. When we join all that together, this will be joined onto that. We'll forget the whole of the LI. We'll put the S inside the curve of the C and add the pos. So it looks like this. As quickly as possible. And you'll still recognise it for that very well-known phrase. It will seem difficult at first, but as long as you understand it and you practice it, it will become commonplace for you as quickly as possible. Right, a bit more exciting now. Let's go. By the end of the day. Now, we've looked at the word the on its own is TH, but we've also looked at for the, by the, etc. So this is by the. We know if we wrote end, it would be END. We know if we'd go of is a special outline, add the H for the. And we know that D is the special outline for do or day. So by the end of the day. But we can make that one outline. Oh, this is so exciting because we use it a lot. So by the end of the day is by the. Just a D for end, like chop it off like a cul-de-sac, dead end. By the end. And then forget the of the and just put D underneath the day, by the end of the day. So what do you think this is? By the, and this, and this. So we've got by the end of the day, by the end of the week, by the end of the nth month, by the end of the Y for year. Now we're really motoring, aren't we? This is getting more and more exciting. We're almost finished with these foundations and we're ready to build speed. Magical. So we looked at for earlier. So we've gone by there. Now we've got before the end before the end of the day, before the end of the month, and so on. And we can also do at the end of the year, at the end of the month. So lots and lots of examples based on the same principle of that D for the end. So practice all these and try to write them quickly, one after the other, saying them out loud to yourself, and gradually you'll get to grips with them and you'll be able to use them in dictation. And that's when you'll really start to see the speed. There's one more thing I want to show you in this lesson before dictation, and that is how to represent the word would in advanced groupings. So let's look at that word first, would. We take out the medial vowels and we take out the silent letters because we don't say would, so the L is silent and it becomes this. It doesn't matter whether it's that would or whether it's that would, the outline is the same, the sentence tells us which one it is. But in a grouping we use would quite a lot. Now, just a few minutes ago we looked at the word have in groupings and we looked at I have, we have, etc., using a V for have. Now we're going to look at this word would. Think of yourself as having a big axe in your hand and you're going to chop wood. It doesn't matter whether it's this wood or this wood, you're going to chop it. So instead of going I would, you're going to put that disjoined W slightly shorter than a normal W and without the D underneath the I. So that becomes I would, it's chopped wood. This is you would, and so on. So if I added a V, that would say I would have. If I then add to that an H, it becomes I would have the. So can you see how quickly we can build speed with common everyday words that we hear together all the time?